What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by ballwash.com. Guys, if you ever feel the need to get clean, but you want to find the right product to do that, pick up the manly product of Ball Wash. They got everything from shampoos and conditioners to body washes, and they even got a ball guard. It's like a lotion they put on, and it dries as a powder. It's absolutely amazing. I used it myself. You can buy all these products at ballwash.com, and at checkout, use the promo code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET. You'll save 15% on your entire order. They currently do have a holiday box that's available. Unfortunately, I think it might be too late to get it before Christmas, but just because you can't get it before Christmas doesn't mean you can't enjoy it a little bit after Christmas while supplies last. Buy your stuff individually. You can also buy it in kits, or you can do a subscription box as well. Again, ballwash.com, from head to toe, hole to pole. I'm never going to get that right.
You've gotten it right most of the time, I think. But
I think in my mind, I say like head to toe, pole to hole. Head to toe, pole to, see, it's why I turn toe into toll.
Gotcha.
Head to toe, hole to pole. I think there's too many LEs.
It's like I think I just associate it like it's an accent thing. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I gotta change the whole, the pole part. I think that's the part that kind of like gets me. Like, if I could find something that describes a penis as well as a butthole,
right?
Then I think we really got something there. But I think the whole hole to pole messes up the toe part.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, I need something to kind of rhyme, and because it's very simple. I mean, I think that's where it works. Like Sarge is over there saying, like, when it comes to your wiener, like nothing gets cleaner, or some goofy shit like that.
No, yours. Sorry, Sarge.
Yeah, and then obviously, Ball Wash came up with the whole, like, when it comes to your sack to got your back. It's like, okay, so it's the words that rhyme, but I don't know.
Yeah, I like head to toe, hole to pole. I think that's good.
I just can't say it. It's like,
I plug for next season.
We'll trade plugs for next season. Yeah, I think the elegance that you come off with and the way you speak would make the plug for Ball Wash more entertaining.
It would make me laugh. I'd have trouble getting through it, but I'll try. I'll do it for you and for the listeners.
And then the guy who has a hard time articulating a proper sentence will talk about fucking reading. So it'll be perfect.
Perfect. Speaking of reading, or being read to, this freaking show is also brought to you by Audible.com. If you would like to have a book read to you by a professional book reader, which is a great title for a person who records books. I've totally forgotten what they're called, but book reader is what I went with. Maybe you want to participate in our upcoming reading challenge, our upcoming book club. You could go over to audibletrial.com/freaknet and get yourself a free 30-day trial and a credit towards your first audiobook. Maybe go ahead and pick yourself up the Phantom Tollbooth so you're ready to go next season when we're reading it together with you. Yeah. So it's a great way to get some books read. Great way to enjoy some entertainment and maybe learn something or just enjoy a great story. So head on over to audibletrial.com/freaknet and get yourself your free 30-day trial and your free credit towards your first audiobook right now.
Yeah. I actually just my copy of Phantom Tollbooth actually just got delivered a couple days ago.
Very nice.
Yeah, I went with the actual paperback legit book because I really want to challenge myself and actually read it.
I dig that.
So I'm really excited, and it's awesome because there's pictures in it. I kind of thumbed through it and I was like, oh, there's some fucking pictures in here. So I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for this new segment.
Me too.
Yeah, I think, right? It's going to be something different, something new and exciting. I think it's going to be something that really pulls you into, Joe. It's like this is right up your alley with reading and fucking like educating yourself and shit.
Yeah, well, I've been really behind on my reading this year.
And this is a way to get that kind of back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Thank God for this freaking show bring in the Effin' Book Club so Cartoon Joe can get back into reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, granted, this book is for 12-year-olds, but you don't need to challenge yourself intellectually all the time.
No.
That's why we still watch fucking, Cartoon Network from time to time, or Disney Plus and shit with Old Boy Meets World and stuff, just to, fuck it. But,
comfort food from time to time.
Exactly. Maybe you don't want to have pie for dessert. Maybe you really want one of those old fucking ho-hos or Swiss rolls or some shit. Ho-ho or Swiss roll? Which one you prefer, Joe?
I prefer the Swiss roll.
God, they're so much better. So much fucking better. But anyway, the Freakin' Book Club, or the Effin' Book Club, is coming next season. It is the new segment that we're bringing to the show, which is replacing this season's segment, That Freakin' Happened. Still a completely original idea, not a rip-off of any other podcast.
Okay.
We're going to, since this is technically the season finale, and technically this is the last episode of the year, this will be the last time we do That Freakin' Happened, Joe.
Nice.
It is. So I want to do that real quick, and then I want to talk to you briefly about what I wanted to talk to you about before we start recording, but since we're already here, might as well talk about it.
All right.
So Joe, what freaking happened this week?
Yeah, so I wanted to finish the season on a good one. Today, back in 1865, so December 18th as we're recording, 1865, slavery was officially abolished in the United States. The 13th Amendment was formally adopted into the U.S. Constitution, ensuring that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Which is pretty cool. Now, I will say there's an ellipses there between servitude and shall exist. And right in there it says, except for, punishment for a crime. So slavery, to some extent, does still exist in our prison industrial complex. And we should probably work to abolish that. But, generally speaking, good things.
What do you mean by inside the prison systems? Are they still doing those working in ditches with picks and shit, or are you talking about working in the kitchens and libraries and stuff?
Not just working in the kitchens and library stuff, but you've seen the trope on TV where they'll show them making license plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do things like that. In certain states, private companies can contract workers from the prison, and they don't pay the workers, they pay the state. And it's almost exactly the same as the old plantation system where you might rent slaves from somebody, but instead of buying it from a plantation, you buy them from the prison.
See, I always thought that the prisoners got paid. It was just like really low, like $2 an hour or some goofy shit like that.
And it is really low, almost absurdly low. But yeah,
yeah.
Because like in California, it's like $2 an hour for fighting fires and stuff.
Mm.
But
the world we live in. Well, mine is I can't even pretend it's similar to yours. I don't know if you can consider this a high note or not. I'm going to roll with it. On December 13th, 1931, Winston Churchill is hit by a car.
Yes.
The English statesman and future Prime Minister Winston Churchill is hit by a cab while walking across Fifth Avenue in New York City. What's up?
Nothing, I'm just being silly.
Oh. Churchill had apparently forgotten that American traffic keeps to the right and didn't look in the correct direction. Churchill suffered a serious scalp wound as well as 2 cracked ribs and was admitted to the hospital, where he later told police that the accident was entirely his fault. Concerned that the driver of the cab would be blamed and then have trouble finding work, Churchill arranged to meet him at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, where Churchill served the driver tea and gave him an autographed copy of his book, The Unknown War. Churchill used his time in the hospital to write an article about the incident titled My New York Misadventure, which he then sold for $2,500. The following month, Churchill got a prescription from his doctor for alcohol to help alleviate the pain from his accident. This was during the Prohibition times.
Oh. Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
As Prime Minister, he spent like 90% of his waking life totally blasted. Just completely drunk.
Yeah, but it was prescription, so it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a prescription. That's great.
Yeah, I'm assuming he always got the same doctor to rhyme that prescription.
Yep. Well, it's that medical champagne.
It's gotta be, right? It's like, hey, Winnie, what you doing drinking a beer at 8 a.m.? He's like, I got a prescription. It's like, sold.
I need it for my ribs.
Right? Fucking sold.
Joe,
I want to throw a scenario.
Bangladeshis would be alive today because of the genocide that he perpetrated in Bangladesh. If he just died from that car accident. Anyway, sorry.
Right.
We probably would have also lost the war, so I don't know. Mixed bag.
Right. A whole lot of what ifs.
Yep.
A whole lot of what ifs. Who was in that picture with him? What was that? That was FDR, Churchill, and who was the other person?
I think it's Joseph Stalin.
Stalin. Okay. I know it was a Russian guy. I just couldn't remember if it was Stalin or the guy before Stalin.
Oh, yeah, Lenin.
Yeah.
Stalin.
Well, no, Lenin died. The death of Lenin was the reason for World War I, right?
No, it was Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. Anyways, Joe, I want to run a scenario by you, and then we're going to talk about cancel culture.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. So, you have another podcast called Geekcast Live. So, let's say hypothetically, you want to Google Geekcast Live. Just to see what's going on with it, see if there's any talks or rumbles about it, right?
Sure.
And then all of a sudden we come across a podcast that started in April of this year called Geek Crew Live. But they go by GCL. Right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let me listen to it. Let me see what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
And then you listen to it, and ironically, their intro is very similar to what your intro is.
Mm-hmm.
And they use a lot of the same kind of like verbiage and stuff that you use in your podcast. But it's okay because they're Geek Crew Live, even though they go by GCL.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
I'd be upset about it. And I'm glad that I'm not seeing it in the first 4 pages of Google search results.
Well, I from time to time I do like to kind of like Google like This Freaking Show and Just Freaking Wrestling, so just to see like what's going on out there and seeing if it's showing up somewhere different than like I know of.
Yeah,
I mean that's the only way I found out that our podcast is like still on Stitcher, it's on Player FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon bullshit, all that. But it turns out there's another podcast out there called Just Fan Wrestling. Goes by JFW Podcast. It's 3 people, 2 dudes and a girl, and their intro is very similar to mine.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, and it bothers me. And I saw that like they don't have any social media. They only have like 25 episodes. They started in April this year. And the only way to reach them is jfwpodcast@gmail.com. Now, my email is jfwpodcast@yahoo.com. So I had to, message DJ. I was like, hey, bro, did we ever get a Gmail account for JFW? He's like, no. And I was like, fuck. Okay. Because if we did, they wouldn't be able to get it. And then they'd be stuck with like fucking hotmail.com or some goofy shit that doesn't really exist anymore.
Right.
But it fucking bothered me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's one thing if they just wanted to go by like Just Fan Wrestling, but the fact that their shit actually says JFW Podcast and the fact that their logo, which granted is new, it's very similar to our original logo that we had.
Jeez.
So it's, we're definitely, well, not we, but, I am definitely going to, talk about that quite frequently on JFW this week. And I don't want to I'm not going to tear them down like Succotash did to us many years ago.
Yeah.
But I am going to fucking goof on them for the fact that they kind of fucking ripped off, my podcast.
Yeah.
Because first off, Just Fan Wrestling does not make sense.
Right.
right? I mean, like, you could have called yourself wrestling fan or fan of wrestling. You could have been FOW, but no, you literally went with JFW podcast.
Yeah. I've also noticed there's like a Just Wrestling Fans podcast.
Yes.
Different people.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with JWF.
Sure. Yeah, it's different.
Because it has nothing to do with the way mine works out, but just fan wrestling fucking bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you motherfuckers. And of course you have to go look like, when did they start? Okay. Because when I say here, and I did this for this freaking show right before we started, I Googled it to see if it existed, which still blew my mind to this day that this freaking show was never really a podcast name. I think it's a great fucking name for a show. I think it'll still be great for a network show on television that we should fucking host one day if we just get a chance.
Yeah.
Just saying. But like nothing even similar, like this freaking show, that freaking show, you know, even this fucking show. Like nothing like that was, like, existed.
Right. Right.
I did the same thing with JFW. You know, it's like, see if Just Freaking Wrestling or JFW podcast existed. It didn't. Fine, fucking sold. Because I even think like Just Wrestling Fan podcast, whatever. I think even that one is fairly new. I think that one started like last year or some shit. So yeah. I'm assuming that these people like my idea so much, like, we gotta fucking steal that in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And Just Wrestling Fans like, well, we'll just call ourselves JWF. So it's similar, but not as quite similar. Right. And then JFW podcast, Just Fan Wrestling podcast is like, oh, well, we can't do JFW or JWF because somebody else took it. So we'll just go with fun instead of freaking. I was like, you motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. So I'm really tempted.
Spotify. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm really tempted to fucking email them like, hey guys, change your shit.
Yeah.
Because now I'm worried that what if my fucking domain lapse and I don't realize it and they fucking buy it.
Yeah, right?
Right? Because I'm fucking nervous about shit. Like, crap, now I actually gotta pay attention to shit. But for the love of hell, now there's 2 JFW podcasts out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not happy with it.
Just JFW?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now though, fucking, you guys ever pissed me off over there on Geekcast Live, there'll be a new fucking podcast coming out. New GCL podcast. Fucking, I'll find a fucking, new domain like GCL.samurai or,
nice.
Or, violentpole.com.
Nice.
What's the opposite of press?
Pull?
Pull? Is pull the opposite of press? I was doing push, but violentrelease.com?
That sounds like a porn website.
Right? God. Passiveaggressivepress.com. I'll go with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pacifistpress.com. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my little vent there. But we're going to talk about cancel culture, Joe. We talked about a little bit on last episode. And then, obviously Christmas time is coming up. And, guys, just so you know, this is our last episode as we go and take our break over the next 2 weeks. I think we'll be back. I want to say it's January 6th or January 8th. I can't remember which date. Right. So it's Christmas time. We're going to talk about Christmas, and we're going to talk about the things that people are offended by during Christmas time. And what better way to do it than finish up the season with another round of My Corona. If you guys remember, it's a game we made up to pay tribute to a horrifying pandemic that we suffered through for the last 11 months. Can you believe it hasn't even been a year? It hasn't even been a year of this shit, but it feels like it.
It feels like it. It feels like it's been a decade.
God, it feels like it's been so much longer. I think my favorite meme I've seen so far is, like people are watching the countdown to the new year and all of a sudden it rolls over to like, 13/1/20. My favorite one. So, obviously if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the news, Tom Cruise lost his shit on, I think it was another, what's that fucking, series, the movie series that he fucking does? Mission Impossible, yeah, 7, right?
Yep.
So apparently, people weren't doing the proper, social distancing and mask wearing and all that stuff. Lost his shit. A couple people quit. I'm assuming it was worse than him jumping up and down on Oprah's fucking couch.
Oh yeah, I listened to the audio. It was brutal.
Yes, yeah, I haven't heard anything, but I saw articles about it. I didn't read anything and I didn't hear what he said. But there was one, I'm trying to remember, there was something a long time ago where there was like audio, recording of somebody losing their shit on a stage or on a film studio. And I want to say that was also Tom Cruise, but it was probably somebody else.
Could have been Russell Crowe, could have been Mel Gibson, it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah, it was, I think it was, fucking, Christian Bale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like one on the, I can't remember which movie it was. I don't remember if it was like American Psycho or Batman, but there was one scene like somebody was talking, like the sound guy or somebody, or like one, or even some kind of guy, just an assistant, like was like talking, like quietly, and fucking like Christian Bale heard him or some shit. Yeah. And like he was threatening to like quit. Yeah, like he was threatening to quit the entire fucking movie just because this dude's ruined one fucking scene.
Yeah.
So obviously Tom Cruise went nuts. Justified to an extent, but a little overboard. Yeah. That's going to be our Corona Extra. And then for Corona Light, we're going to use, the governor, what'd you say, how do you pronounce your last name?
Gnome.
Yeah, Governor Gnome from, what was it, South Dakota? No, I can't fucking remember.
Yep, South Dakota.
Okay, cool. Who kind of lifted all restrictions to COVID, for a brief period of time. It does look like it's kind of coming back because people are dying. She's gonna be at Corona Light. We're not gonna have any Corona Middle extra premiere, whatever the fuck it is. So it's just light or extra. I'm going to give you something that, has been a topic of cancel culture or offensive-ness or anything like that. Give a brief description of what's showing here. And then you gotta tell me we can do it one of two ways. You can either give me the extra and light, so give me the positive and negative, both sides of the argument for it, or you can decide which one it actually is. If it's, hey, I think they went a little too extreme with it, or maybe they're not, maybe it's not as bad as they're making it out to be. So your call, Joe. So how much you want to dive into it?
I'm happy doing it either way, depending on what the situation is. If it's pretty cut and dry, I'm happy to just say one or the other. But if it's something that's a little complicated, I'm happy to get into it. So I think maybe I'll just do whatever I feel as each thing comes up.
Right. Follow your star, Joe.
Yeah, I will.
Alright, I want to do this first one. I kind of wanted to save this one for the end, but it's too stupid not to bring up.
Okay.
So I want this one to start us out. And this is the title of the article. It's from thecontinentdaily.com. I'm not sure what kind of fucking news group it is.
Sounds bad, but go on.
Yeah. So the title of the article is Leftists Now Offended by Harmful Christmas Lights.
Oh my God. All right.
A Minnesota couple received an anonymous letter Monday criticizing the Christmas light display on their St. Anthony home as harmful. The letter to Kim Hunt, I guess it doesn't matter if I mention her name, it's out in the public anyways. She received a letter, and if I can find where it begins, so the letter says, I couldn't help but notice your Christmas light display. During these unprecedented times, we have all experienced challenges which casual words just don't describe what we're feeling. The idea of twinkling, colorful lights are a reminder of divisions that continue to run through our society. A reminder of systemic bias against our neighbors who don't celebrate Christmas or who can't afford to put up lights of their own. We must do the work of educating ourselves about the harmful impact an outward-facing display like yours can have. I challenge you to respect the dignity of all people while striving to learn from differences, ideas, and opinions of our neighbors. We must come together collectively and challenge these institutional inequalities. St. Anthony is a community welcoming of all people, and we must demand better for ourselves. So, Joe, This couple puts up Christmas lights to celebrate the holidays, and apparently the lights, from what I just read, are offensive to either people who can't afford to put lights up or people who can't who don't celebrate Christmas. So,
which one's bad? Gnome.
Gnome is not. I guess in this no. So Cruise is way too far, and Gnome is no.
All right, Cruise then. That's too far. I gotta say, it sounds fake. It sounds like this couple wrote themselves that note and then sent it into the paper because they wanted to make the news.
See, I could believe.
I can't imagine anybody being that self-absorbed.
Really, Joe?
I really can't.
Well, let's go through the rest of the list and we can kind of decide from that point. But yeah, no, it is kind of goofy. The only reason I believe it isn't from them is because there's a stamp on this envelope, and who's going to pay for a stamp and waste their money on that? I mean, that's just crazy. Right. Which is also weird.
You can make the news. It's great.
Yeah, which was also kind of weird because, like, don't you think, like, if you were, like, a neighbor, you could just throw it into your mailbox? Why do you actually have to mail it?
Yeah. Yeah, or even just, like, tape it to their door or something. Or, it's your neighbor and you live in Minnesota. Just walk over and say hi. Because it's Minnesota. I don't know. It makes me feel like if somebody sent it in from nearby, like, they know they're in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Would you like to hear the owner of the lights response? That I guess obviously she was on the news and was talking about it.
Sure.
Ironic that the letter writer is doing exactly what they accused the homeowner of doing, not being accepting of others. It's so nuts. So I honestly believe this is probably the worst of it, but honestly I don't even know what is on this list. There is one I think is kind of dumb too. But in all honesty, in my opinion, a lot of these are fucking dumb. And maybe I'll give my opinion on them too. I don't know. If I disagree with you, I'll give my opinion on it.
It's Christmas. Do what you want.
Right? Let's see here. Which one is the next list? Is this one? Okay, we'll go with this one. Let's see here. So Santa Claus. Why do we betray this near omnipotent elf whom all children worldwide are supposed to supplicate as a white man? How about having a black Santa for a change? Or a gay one even? Isn't it time for a woman to be running things at the North Pole? Just because Santa Claus is a European traditional figure doesn't mean that he should be portrayed as a white man, right?
Who's writing this? I don't even know.
This is a list of faithandheritage.com. What was that fucking word? Occidental?
Occidental?
Occidental? What does that word mean?
CID? Is that?
Yeah, you're right. What does that word mean?
I can't remember.
Well, anyways, it's from...
related to the countries of the West.
Okay, so faithandheritage.com is Occidental Christianity for preserving Western culture and people. This is a list of Christmas is racist, says everyone not white or Christian. So we know that celebrating the birth of the Savior would be so hateful and bigoted, right? Apparently we white people have been mucking up the Feast of the Nativity, and it's high time that we come clean. Wash from our sins and be as white as snow. So it sounds like this is like a sarcastic fucking list, but they are things that have been mentioned to an extent.
Okay.
So I'm just going to run through them. And like I said, just give me your opinion on them. So Santa, black, gay, woman, why does he have to be white? Is that
I don't care. It's fine with me.
Right? Right. Is that an argument that you consider too extreme or who cares? Is that a gnome or a cruise?
I'm going to say gnome. Who cares?
Right. I think realistically, it's like Santa should be who you believe him to be.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why the fuck not?
Right.
A Christmas Story, a movie famous for You'll Put Your Eye Out Kid warning about BB guns, is apparently steeped in white privilege. Let's see here. Family values, gun control. bullying, fighting, sexism due to lamp-shaped like leg, and child abuse to soap. I'm assuming they're talking about when he had to put the bar of soap in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no on this one too. I feel like yes, those are things, but also like there's a lot of cultural touchstones in the movie. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be made the same way today, but that's just because culture is different, because that's how time works.
Yeah, it was when we were talking last week about doing this, one of the biggest things that I thought of was the movie A Christmas Story. It's like, cause I mean, obviously I don't hear much about it. Like, I mean, there's other things that are either going to be on this list or things we're going to talk about on other fucking websites I pull up that have been mentioned, like Rudolph's Red-Nosed Reindeer and Charlie Brown Christmas, Baby It's Cold Outside and stuff like that. But like Christmas Story, I don't hear much about, even though it's like listed, you know, they talk about, you know, him wanting a gun, you shoot your eye out, and the bullying and everything, because bullying is a big fucking deal to everyone nowadays, which it should be. Bullying is a horrible fucking thing, and I don't think people should be bullied. I do believe...
Oh, bullying.
What do you think I said?
I thought you were saying bowling.
Oh, like bowling? No, bullying. I don't know how to fucking enunciate.
Sorry, I was like, I don't remember that being in the movie, but sure.
bullying.
Yeah, bully. Yeah.
Being a bully. Being a bully. So I mean, it's just one of the things, and it's like you said, because this movie was made in like the early 90s and some shit.
Yeah, maybe even back.
Yeah, I've been watching fucking Happy Days, made back in the 70s.
83.
Christmas Story was?
Hmm?
Oh shit! Wow. But I've been watching Happy Days, which I think was made in the 70s or whatever. And there's a lot of episodes that have to do with racism, and Richie Cunningham's dad was in the war, and his war buddy was coming to visit, and his war buddy happened to be black, and he was getting married, and they couldn't get the venue they wanted, so they agreed to let his friend get married in their household, and all the neighbors weren't comfortable with it, and Richie's mom wasn't too comfortable with it, not in a negative way, just more in a nervous way, because she's never been around a lot of black people and stuff like that. And watching that episode, and then there's another episode the following season, a couple episodes later, about a black kid who comes to town, who's now the drummer of Richie's band, who's playing as some luau party, and no one's parents were allowing their kids to go to the luau because there was a black kid there. And I'm watching this shit, I'm like, it's funny because when, back then, it seemed like the way they, portrayed racism in, shows has a different feeling than when racism is portrayed, nowadays.
Right.
I mean, they're always going for the same message, respect everyone equally, everyone's the same. And I agree with that 100%. Yeah. But remembering, watching that, couple days ago, remembering, some of these scenes that had to do with racism and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And then looking at things coming out nowadays. It's it has a different feel to how you see it, but it has the same message. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of goofy. And I think a small part of that has to do with more of how's the right way to say this without people fucking thinking I'm a horrible person? I think as we go through time, the closer we get to where we are now, it seems how white people need to be more apologetic.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see it that way, but I think it's more that we have fixed a lot of the overt problems. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to think about the things that are more insidious that maybe we don't pay attention to and don't notice.
I like when you use big words, Joe.
Thanks.
Right. Because you say insidious, and all I think about is that horror movie with that creepy child.
Yeah.
Which is Insidious.
No creepy child racism.
See here. White Christmas, the song and movie of the same title, are clearly from the evil racist. What's wrong with a tan Christmas or a blended mocha Christmas? Yes, everyone wants tan mocha and black colored snow on Christmas morning. It's lots of fun and play in. And as for real people, who would want a college with white people?
You know what I gotta say is the more you read from this article, the more this article sounds like the letter that was written to that Minnesota couple.
Right.
Like next time this guy writes, he needs to just put it on someone. He just needs to mail it to somebody he doesn't like instead of trying to make it news.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of these, it looks like a lot of these are going to be on different lists. So let me go to a different list here.
I'm going to say gnome, by the way, on that one. That's just, I don't know anybody who's like, we shouldn't watch the movie White Christmas because it has the word white in it. It's only people who either don't know what racism is or don't understand cancel, what's wrong with things, who are complaining about it and making it up as a problem that doesn't exist.
All right. Well, not Christmas related, but on that same topic, how do you feel about the group of people who wanted to change the name of the White House to something completely different because of the word white?
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Or White Castle, or White Hen.
And I've never heard that people wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know the White Hen, I think, changed their name to Golden Hen because of that.
Did they really?
I believe so. But that was like 10 years ago. But I heard something about they thought that the name White House shouldn't be called the White House anymore, which I do believe the only reason it's called the White House because it's a big ass fucking white color fucking building.
Right. Literally a white.
Yeah. I think even Obama called it the White House. It's like that's just what it's a big fucking White House, and I think
These have to be jokes.
Or even
it's two change.org petitions that I found right away by Googling it.
I think even the fucking people were trying to petition the Chicago White Sox to take the word white out of their fucking name.
That's dumb.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about Baby It's Cold Outside. Alright.
Song?
So this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this is from the IndieStar.com. Again, I'm not sure how credible it is, but they tell you why it's offensive, or why people believe it's offensive. Some say it promotes date rape culture. Those in favor of banning this song insist that the woman in the song tries multiple times to leave while the man pushes her to stay. The woman sings, "I ought to say no, 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 sir," expressing clearly she wants to go, and says, "What's in this drink?" Sounds like a red flag that there's something in the drink that shouldn't be there. The man responds with, "Mind if I move in closer, and gosh, your lips look delicious," which come off to a creepy, which comes off to some as creepy and unwanted behavior.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one because it comes up every year and it seems to me to be sillier every year just because it's like we've already had this conversation so many times as a culture. So I'm gonna say gnome. Like it shouldn't be a thing. But I also understand like culture changes over time. We are, the Me Too movement made people more aware of sexual assault and sexual battery and the types of things that women face in their daily lives that they shouldn't have to face. And all people, not just women, but that was kind of the focus at the time. And the thing is that song was written at a time where it wouldn't have been culturally acceptable for her to say, "Yes, I would like to stay and have sex with you."
Yeah.
And so, that was the way that you would do it at that time when the song was written. That's how you would make the excuse that you were going to say, was that you would be like, "Oh, I've had too much to drink. I couldn't drive my car home, so I had to stay at my boyfriend's." Or, and that's why she says, she doesn't say, "I say no, no, no." She says, "I ought to say no, no, no." And so there's that sort of like from
Joe, she probably couldn't because she would slip some kind of fucking Mickey in her drink.
Right. And that's how it would sound today if that song was written today. But
right. When I heard it, I just assumed that hey, there's probably booze in this fucking eggnog.
Right. Exactly. And that's exactly what she's saying in the context of the song, in the context of the time it was written in.
Right. They took a beautiful fucking Christmas song and it's like, "Hey, let me sing you a song about rape."
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, so you gnomed it?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It promotes bullying with the lyrics such as, "All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games." the 1964 stop-motion film in particular has come under fire for its bullying of Rudolph by the other reindeers, and especially from his father, Donner, who forces Rudolph to wear a fake nose. Hermie is made fun of by other elves for his desire to become a dentist.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I've confused the things again. Cruise. It's too far.
Yeah.
Like, it's a movie, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, Joe. I think you confused all of these because if you say cruise, it means that people are being way too offended by it.
Yeah. Well, no, okay, yeah, I definitely did confuse them all. That's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, think of it like if somebody is really being, really making a big deal about this, then they're being a cruise.
Gotcha.
If people are being more like, okay, maybe they have a point, maybe, then it's a gnome. Yeah. But I can see where it gets confusing because with gnome, she didn't see the, COVID as being a big deal, how she lifted it. So right. I get where the confusion is. So let's do this. From now on, they could be a gnome, they could be a cruise. Both are, equally, going, not really going clear on what it is. And then the other side,
yeah, I feel like I've had something to say about each of them. So my position is clear.
Yeah.
But like, come on, it's freaking the story. It's just telling you the story. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he got bullied. That's part of the story. It doesn't promote bullying. The point is the bullying was stupid because he had a talent the other kids didn't have.
Right? And then look at him. He became the leader of the fucking reindeers.
Right.
But no one ever wants to talk about that. Like Rudy. Small little fucking guy can't get on the football team, but then he gets on the fucking football team.
Yeah.
Right? Are they got cancel culture fucking Rudy because they're making fun of him for being too short? Come on now. This one kind of surprised me. Do they know it's Christmas?
I don't think I know this one.
Well, this is a song. It was played at Band-Aid. You do know what Band-Aid is, right?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll explain here. So the song, Do They Know It's Christmas? It's patronizing. The 1984 song, written by Bob Geldof and Midge Uri and performed at Band-Aid, was in response to the famine of Ethiopia. Critics argue the lyrics promote a white savior complex and is condescending. The line, well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you, is seen as one of the most problematic, and Bono even changed the lyric when performing in the 2014 Band-Aid 30. The line, and there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time, and no rain or rivers flow, is ignorant to the fact that Africa does indeed have snow and has one of the longest rivers in the world, the Nile.
Yeah. I kind of see the point that they're making. And so I can't remember if I'm supposed to say cruise or gnome.
You'll be saying gnome. This will be a gnome. Yeah,
no.
This will be a gnome.
I kind of see the point they're making, but I also think that it sounds like Band-Aid is the kind of thing that white people really like. And it seems to me that the song is trying to convince white people to help other people. Well, Band-Aid, that might be effective, even if it's a little problematic.
Well, Band-Aid, if I'm remembering correctly, and you can probably look this up later, Band-Aid is very similar to what Live Aid was. But Live Aid was, obviously for AIDS, where Band-Aid was for, starvation around the world or whatever the fuck it is.
Feeding kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we produce so much food that it's ridiculous that anybody goes hungry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, trust me, Joe. I know. I felt bad throwing away the husk of the tamales I just ate.
Yeah. Well, I don't even just mean like the stuff that we buy and then don't eat all of. The amount of stuff that's produced but never goes anywhere. Like grocery stores throwing away perfectly good food because they can't sell it, or farmers who can only sell certain perfect peppers to the grocery store, and so they got to throw imperfect peppers away. I don't know. And I'm not blaming farmers. It's our whole system's kind of screwed. I'm
gonna blame the major companies and corporations on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming small town farmers and stuff like that, they can easily sell those on the side of the road. It's probably like those fucking farms that are like owned by like a fucking Costco or a Walmart that has like a produce section that wants to sell the proper fucking pepper.
Oh, sure.
But because they're contracted out to those major corporations, they can't sell those like vegetables on their own on the side because technically they own it. It's
right.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like how all those farmers had to kill all their animals because they couldn't send them to the factory to be processed.
Mm-hmm. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
No, stop it. Cruise. Move on.
I gotta read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's disrespectful and callous. Grandma drank too much eggnog, forgot her medication, and took off, and was found by her family the next morning with hoof prints on her forehead. The singer wonders, should we open up her gifts or send them back? As if that's the most important matter the day after her grandmother was killed. Also, this doesn't seem like Santa ever takes responsibility for the incident. They should never give a license to a man who drives a sleigh.
Good Lord. Oh, I still say cruise, but I feel like it's a joke, and that's fine. It can be a joke, but good God.
The song Santa Baby.
I don't like the song.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah.
It's not. To me, this is the Die Hard of fucking Christmas songs.
Oh, it's
just
a song to you.
It's Christmas related, but it's too sexual for fucking to be an enjoyable fucking holiday fucking song.
Yep.
And this is why it's offensive. It's raunchy and superficial. It's released in 1953 by Eartha Kitt. The singer uses her sexuality to get lavish things like a 54 convertible, a yacht, and money. Santa is positioned as a sugar daddy type to provide her what she wants because she's been so good this year. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed.
See, I actually don't have any problems with that. The weird thing to me about the song is that, like, high schoolers are allowed to sing it and perform it. That's where or like they'll have like little kids perform it at like preschools and shit. Just cause it's like, oh, it's just a fun song. Like, I don't know.
Joey, I'm 31 years old, so maybe it's my mind that doesn't remember, but I don't think I ever sang this song at one of my fucking Christmas festivals. It's gotta be an Indiana thing.
Yeah, I know for a fact because my high school girlfriend did sing it during a thing, and I was like, we had an argument about it.
Really?
Yeah. Not because I wasn't like trying to be puritanical or creepy or anything, but just like the dance choreographer was like really trying to get them to sex it up, and I was just like, you do realize y'all are in high school, right? Like,
I think deep down you're just really pissed your girlfriend was calling another man baby.
No, it's not.
Even that man is Santa.
Yeah. I'm really not that jealous, but it was just, I don't know.
All right,
use your sexuality to get the things you want because you get paid less than us, but.
Oh, fuck. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I don't know why it's on our list for Christmas shit, but well.
Is it because their parents aren't around, so they eat popcorn for dinner? Because I do have a problem with that.
No, this is about a certain person.
Oh, no! They put the black kid on one side of the table and all the white kids on the other, don't they?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. During the holiday feast scene, Franklin is seen sitting alone one side of the table while many of the film's white characters are seated together on the other side. Franklin also appears to be sitting in an unstable lawn chair, which causes him to topple over at one point. The other characters appear to be seated in sturdier-looking chairs. Why is Franklin in Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving sitting all by himself at the table? Man, things that I did not notice as a child, one person wrote on a Twitter found the 1973 films airing the day before the turkey-filled holiday this year.
Yeah. I would say no, because they do have a good point. I would like to know why also. Like, was he edited into the film later, and so they just put him there, or... You know, and it doesn't have to be, I don't think it's an inherently racist thing. It's possible that the artists or the animators or whoever, like, they weren't consciously thinking about where to put everybody, And so they were just like, they just did it the way that they thought looked good without considering how or why it might be not okay. Or maybe they were very intentional. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. And I don't think there's any stories where anybody's going back and interviewing the animators.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not saying it's not problematic. But also, like, it doesn't have to be, and I think that's the problem, right, is we have unconscious biases that it's important to investigate and root out. Mm-hmm. Because, like, he was still invited. That's a leaps and bounds ahead of where it would have been, you know, in the 50s or the 40s. That, like your Happy Days reference, them being uncomfortable with a kid in the band who's a drummer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Just as a sidebar, it's good that none of us noticed, right? I mean, because our parents raised us right. All we notice is that he's there and he's one of their friends. That's how it should be.
Well, I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a good movie. Well, it's fine.
I'm not a big Peanuts fan. Like, even like that Great Pumpkin movie, I think I watched it once and it's because I had to because I was in school. It's like, Charlie Brown never, like, was a big thing for me.
That's fair.
Right? I mean, like, it's just like, talk about bullying. Fucking Lucy pulling the football away and shit. Oh.
Right?
I mean, come on.
Where's that cancel culture article?
Right? That was the last one I had, Joe.
Nice.
Right? So, not a whole lot of cancel culture. And, you know, that was the weird thing. Like, I tried to find, you know, like, see if there was a list of, like, people like things people wanted to cancel for Christmas over the last decade and shit, and it just isn't a list. It's just random fucking people throwing things out there like, you know, fucking, you can't do, Baby It's Cold Outside because dude's a little rapey. It's like,
Is an article that'll get passed around Twitter for hundreds of clicks? And I think that's my main problem with quote unquote cancel culture is that I don't think it really exists the way that it's talked about. I think a lot of people just write articles to make it sound like it's a thing that exists because the outrage machine gets clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if you say, oh, I was canceled, you're going to get more clicks because people are going to be like, what do you mean you were canceled? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. But like if you take a second and you think about it and with any amount of thought, you're going to be like, oh yeah, no, that it either makes sense or that doesn't make sense. You know, like Louis C.K. losing his job for showing his penis to his coworkers. That makes sense. He should have lost his job for that.
Well, I mean, in his defense, he did ask first. All right, Joe, we're gonna do one more thing here real quick, and I'm gonna do this like a little speed round thing.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna give you a name of a movie that has at one point has been categorized as a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Now, your goal here is to give me a reason why it is and why it is not. And you have to give me one of each for all these movies. And your why it is cannot be because it happened at Christmas time.
All right.
Okay? So give me Die Hard. Why is it a Christmas movie? Why isn't it a Christmas movie? And don't use the phrase because it happened at Christmas time.
It is a Christmas movie because it's about a man trying to get back to his family in time for Christmas dinner.
Okay.
It is not a Christmas movie because it has nothing to do with Christmas. It just takes place around Christmas time.
Okay. Batman Returns.
I forgot that could count as a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie because, I don't know, they wear Santa hats or something. I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie in so long. It's not a Christmas movie because I haven't seen it in a really long time and don't know why it's not a Christmas movie. Probably for the same reason that Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
No, good call. Gremlins.
Oh, yes, it is a Christmas movie because, God, what's his name? The original Mogwai is a Christmas present. And it's about the consequences of his Christmas, not taking care of his Christmas present. It's an allegory for getting like a pet for Christmas and not taking care of it properly. It's not a Christmas movie because after the initial gifting, it has nothing to do with Christmas until the love interest of the movie talks about her dad pretending to be Santa, slipping, falling, and dying in the chimney and not being discovered for 3 weeks. Which is not a very Christmassy theme.
What the fuck? Lethal Weapon.
It's one of the weirdest scenes in the whole film.
Lethal Weapon.
I don't, it's not a Christmas movie because it doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, does it?
Mm-hmm. Is it? Yep. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. The film begins with a Jingle Bell Rock and ends with a family united around a Christmas tree.
Well, I'll be dipped. You know what? I might be confusing Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
You could be. No, well, I mean, maybe. I mean, Mel Gibson and Bruce Willis are very similar.
I know. Only one has hair and one doesn't.
That's true. Edward Scissorhands.
Not a Christmas movie because I think the majority of the movie takes place during the summer. Is a Christmas movie because it's about a family coming together to celebrate unique differences. I don't know. I'm out of things. Most of these movies I haven't seen in over a decade.
No problem. Last one, man. Harry Potter.
Oh, not a Christmas movie because it's not about Christmas in any way, shape, or form. Is a Christmas movie because it does spend a lot of time at Christmas time with him like playing wizard's chess and like setting up the end of the movie so that you know that he knows how to play wizard's chess. And also Mrs. Weasley sends him a sweater and stuff. And it's the only part of the movie I ever remember with any clarity.
Is the only reason Christmas is involved in Harry Potter is because they need to give a reason for why so many students are gone and Harry is left alone to wander aimlessly into his next comeuppance?
Yep.
Perfect.
Basically. Yeah, he can't go home during Christmas because his relatives don't want him.
Gotcha. All right, Joe. For the last time in season 4, what you freaking on, man? What you freaking thinking?
I am freaking thinking about, sorry, I had to pick. Well, I did this also for Geekcast Live this week, but.
Do you try to make a point to do 2 different things a week? One for GTL and one for us?
I do.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah. But sometimes the thing is just too good, and so I do it for both. Yeah, and this is one of those weeks. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to regularly is Behind the Bastards. Mm-hmm. It's really good. If you've never listened to it, I really highly recommend it. It's usually about like history's greatest monsters. So he has episodes about Hitler and Stalin and the guy who started L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who started Scientology and all of that stuff. Well, last week he did a 2-parter on a lawyer named Roy Cohn. And it's honestly, I think, the 2 best episodes of the show I've ever listened to. I go back, I've listened to it now all the way through probably 4 times.
How long are the episodes?
I don't re-listen to podcasts. I listen to them once and I delete them. So what did you say? Sorry?
How long are the episodes?
They're about an hour.
Oh.
So sometimes he'll do, instead of doing a 2-parter, he'll do one like 90-minute episode, but yeah, it's real good. And I don't know what it was. His writing was just on par, and his guest that week was really good. It was a good episode, good couple episodes. So, what about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
God, so much. First off, the Just Fan Wrestling really bothered me. I'll have to get over that. I started watching the Twilight fucking series again just for the hell of it because I had some time to kill before I couldn't go to bed early because I was working nights over the weekend. So I was like, I need something that could kill fucking 6 hours. So I started watching Twilight. Never realized how much of a horrible person fucking Bella is. By the way,
I know, right? Oh, she's the worst.
Right? Like when I first saw it, I'm just like, God, fucking, like, I blamed fucking Jacob. It's like, dude, you know he has a fucking boyfriend. Back the fuck off. But after, like, watching a little more, so I'm like, oh, it's kind of fucking Bella's fault. He fucking kind of led him on the entire fucking time. Yeah, so, I mean, there's that. Usually when when I'm off work, me and, Sherry have been, partaking in the, coffee shop that opened up here in town.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited to do that tomorrow. There's a lot of things that are going on down here, Joe, that you need to come check out, like the ice cream shop, the coffee shop, the sweet shop, fucking Steam Hollow Brewing. A lot of stuff down here, bro. Really,
nice.
Really missing out. Yeah, I got a 3-day weekend, so,
very nice.
Yeah, so, just trying to figure out some things to do. Obviously, I'm going to take a break here from podcasting for a couple weeks, so it's going to be nice to kind of refresh from that, try to figure out what's going on for season 5, and, get everything ready for the effing book club.
Very nice.
I'm happy for it. I'm really excited to see
you to have some time off to relax. Yeah, you need that. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out what, because obviously, I mean, with JFW, like, it's been so, like few and far between when we actually get, like, shows recorded and shit. So I'm trying to debate if I want to take the 2 weeks off or not. I mean, like, if we did, if I can make a difference in what we are now, because we only do a show, like, every other week anyways. But I may take the whole 2 weeks off and obviously just work, but I really want to figure out, like, the best way to tackle season 5. I know we got a couple ideas, on how the show format's going to change a little bit. And I really got to get a hold of Ripley Street to see if they have our new theme song ready.
Yes.
So that's another thing that's on my list of things to do. And maybe I'll dust my desk. It's kind of dirty. There's a lot of shit to do. But yeah, that's about it. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin' Show. But if an hour a week of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can you go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice. Guys, as a reminder, this episode of This Freaking Show is brought to you by FreakNet Studios. Make sure you check out freaknetstudios.com to see all 3 of the podcasts that are associated with the network. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just by searching Just Freaking Show. And our show is released every single week on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, Amazon Music, and Spotify. I don't know if I said it already. Yeah, just by searching Just Freaking Show. I'm trying to get us on Pandora, but for some reason Pandora's being a little bitch. So, not really sure what's going on there. But, yeah. Just search This Freaking Show. We'll show up everywhere because no one's stolen our show yet. Yeah. I'm waiting for that This Frickin' Show, Fricken,
right,
to fucking come out so I can completely lose my frickin' shit. So, that's all I got, guys. Thank you for being here for another season. We look forward to talking to you in 2021. And make sure you go out and get your Phantom Tollbooth book so you can join along with us. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.